Hi, I'm Lori, a senior solo traveler, and I recently visited Vilamoura and Quarteira on the Southern Algarve coast of Portugal. The two communities are often lumped together, and they are adjacent to each other within the same municipality. However, Vilamoura and Quarteira are distinct communities with their own identities. Vilamoura leans more towards a resort town, while Quarteira, an old fishing village, is a larger, more established town. Since I visited both on the same day, I'll give you a very quick overview of what I observed while walking all over both towns. At the end of the video, I'll share a little advice for travelers. I started my visit in what I think you would call the tiny downtown area of Vilamoura. There were some lively cafes where they were serving breakfast with some scrumptious pastries. From there, I walked a block to the marina, which is certainly the focal point of the town. Because the marina is enclosed by three sides, there's a more intimate feeling to this marina than most. There are numerous boutiques, bars, and eateries lining the water's edge. I began walking from the west end of the marina and walked along all three sides until the paved path ran into the famous Tivoli Marina Hotel. I decided to circumnavigate the hotel by walking along the water. I ran into a more extensive marina, this 50-year commemorative statue, and eventually the Vilamoura beach. I walked along the beach a short distance until it ended and led me back out to the streets. Hugging the coast, I eventually ran into Quarteira Beach. There's a wonderful cobblestone and palm tree-lined promenade that runs the length of the beach. I was there in April, and the beach was mostly empty, so the views were lovely. The Infant de Segras Avenue runs parallel to the promenade. It is lined with cute shops and cafes. It is a very pretty area, which I'm sure is much more crowded in high season. At this point, I headed inland to the main drag of Quarteira, the Avenue Francisco. It is a bustling street lined with high-rise apartments, local stores, and cafes. As I headed back toward Vilamoura, walking by apartment complex after apartment complex, I ran into this sculpture in the middle of a roundabout. I later learned it is called the Rotunda do Polvo, which is an elaborate octopus. I love fascinating sculptures like this. As I approached Vilamoura, there was a lovely little park that led me back towards the marina. Once to the marina again, I ate an early dinner at one of the outdoor cafes lining the water's edge. It was fun to grab some tasty food while observing the boats. So that was my day exploring the two towns. There wasn't that much to see, as they are both beach communities packed with cafes, bars, and shops. Both towns are packed with apartment complexes, which take up most of the real estate. A little advice and information. From what I understand, visitors can partake in various water activities, such as sailing, jet skiing, riverboat cruises, and windsurfing. At this time of year, I didn't see many tourist activities, but I'm sure they are plentiful in high season. Vilamoura also has numerous golf courses for golf aficionados. For me, Quarteira had more of a local vibe, whereas Vilamoura seemed to cater to tourists. If I returned, I think I would prefer to spend time in Quarteira since it seemed more casual and laid back. It is also less expensive than Vilamoura, although neither are cheap. If you plan to spend time at the beach, a local tip is to go to the eastern end of Quarteira, where it is less crowded. The Quarteira promenade would also be a lovely stroll at sunset. Now, a local resident told me that Vilamoura would soon be welcoming cruise ships. This would obviously make it more crowded with tourists. You might want to keep that in mind if you are planning a visit. There's a trolley train that will take you around the area, although as a senior, I thought it was easy walking. Also, a wonderful day trip from Vilamoura is a visit to the town of Lulé. It is a delightful village with a pretty park, historic architecture, and fabulous market. As always, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments section, and if you have other advice for Vilamoura or Quarteira visitors, please share. We'd love to hear from you. Check out the Senior Solo Travel website and Travel Facebook forum where you can interact with other travelers. I've left links in the description below. And if you'd like to follow my senior and solo travel journeys, please like and subscribe. Cheers!